Sign from above, it says don't panic. That you're not alone, you're on one planet.
Do these in a more conversational style, like Edwin was just kind of saying, where we find out a little bit about the team, the people behind the mutants, as well as a little bit about the project in light of the launch that's coming up in 4 days' time. I've popped your pinned tweet up there as well. If there's any other tweets you'd like to share, feel free to chuck them at the top.
Perfect.
And just to give you guys an idea, we'll ask the mutants what's happening with their project. Then we'll go into a couple more questions, and then we've got an open floor for you guys at the end. Any interaction with the room is vastly appreciated. Thank you all for being here as well. We appreciate your time on a Sunday afternoon or evening. So the mutants, what should I call you? Should I call you the mutants or?
Yeah, MutantZ, whatever. We we will answer to both ways. Yeah, MutantZ is absolutely fine.
MutantZ. We'll try and remember that, or I'll try and remember that. I am terrible at this, by the way. Good at the rest of it, but names not so good at.
Yeah,
I like to start by finding out like just a little bit about your why. Like, why crypto? What do you enjoy about it? And like, what you sort of introduce us to your introduction to crypto before we get into the project details.
Yeah, my background is marketing, advertising, design. I've been working 20 years already in the business. I run an ad agency in London, the creative department of a big ad agency in London. And there was a friend who sent me a Medium article about this cryptocurrency called Terra Luna, and I read about it. I was a completely a crypto denier for the last couple of years, and never got into it. But after that one, my friend got completely, got me completely into that, and I completely drank the Kool-Aid on Terra Luna. I started to understand a little bit more. I started at Polygon, actually. Then I moved to Terra Luna. At that point, Polygon was a little bit more like by developers for developers, very, very badly done UI and UX. It was complicated. But then I found out the Terra wallet, the Terra ecosystem, and it was so wonderfully done. It was so human, so easy, that I completely got hooked up there. And then I started to play in DeFi. Then I started to explore the visual part of crypto, which is NFTs, and because I have sort of a little bit like an educated sort of art direction sort of view of things, I realized that there wasn't much in that space. So I decided to try my luck, think of an idea that I thought it was interesting for the community, and put it out there. And people loved it. People loved it, and that's my beginning of crypto. I basically told you the story until there was a happy moment that was the mint, and there was a very unhappy moment when we all realized that that Terra wasn't meant to be. But that was more or less my story at the beginning.
So what was it that made you stay? Like, what was the thing that you got hooked to? Was it the community, the opportunity to make money, or something else?
I think it was. It is a mixture of different things, but I think there was a feeling that probably we share with people who think that the earth is flat, and people who think crazy things, which is basically being part of a group that believes something, and they think they are absolutely right. And I think there's a sense of what I love about the crypto community is that regardless if you are right or if you are absolutely wrong, I think there's a sense of discovery. There's a sense of a shared adventure and shared journey which is absolutely magnetic. I know that is that the back end of all that is just like the opportunity of earn some money, but I think the experience of be amongst like-minded people with just the same wavelength, it is just so addictive. And that's what even after the Terra crash, when the financial thing, it was absolutely sort of out of the question. I stayed because of the people, because of the contacts that I made there. So I think the community plays such an important role. But it's that sense, that journey that you go together, that sense of adventure, that sense of discovery, that sense of that feeling of being first. I think that's so important in crypto.
I love that so much, and I can feel your energy change as you talked about it. And it is that, like, the exploration of and that new frontier is so like pertinent and so relevant, and definitely something I feel. And I think that's a perfect kind of entrance into the MutantZ and what you're doing. By having a generational art concept, by having your first mint on Terra go so well, and now coming across to Polygon. But do you want to explain how it's generational, what that means, and maybe a little bit about the first collection?
Yeah, so the first collection was very, very simple, purposefully simple, because the objective of this collection is creating an art that evolves. We created 10 different characters. Each one has a different name, and we're gonna follow their evolution, because each one of the generations is gonna be designed by a different creator, by a different artist. Everything is gonna be based on a story published by every week by our hero, which is Alastair Miller, which is a sci-fi writer that we brought into the project to write a chapter every week for us, when we can witness the development of these characters. And because we absolutely love art, we wanted each generation to be designed by a better and better artist. So we assume that as we grow, as the project grows, we're going to be able to afford bigger and better artists that are gonna bring more eyeballs to the collection. That evolved into something that we realized that we could do in the community, because obviously we definitely gonna decide on the community who are we gonna brief to make that PFP each generation. But what we wanted to do is actually use some of the funds of the community some of the funds of the project to actually go to different established artists that by ourselves we couldn't afford, but going all together and commission some art from those established artists. It's going to be there could be an opportunity to generate a MutantZ limited edition art from that artist that we love, and that piece of art would be airdropped to the community for free. So that could be a very, very great opportunity to actually sort of identify artists that we think they have the biggest, that we love, and they have the biggest potential of growth. So being a holder will allow us to grow our portfolio of art that will be there accruing value as the artists get more noticed and more famous.
I really like the concept of that, and I mean you've got a strong community if you can set out in minutes essentially. And are they? How are they sort of taking this second collection? Have you told them much about it? Have you given much information, or is it still kind of a bit hush hush?
We have given a lot. This is a very unusual collection, because just to give you a little bit of context, Dave, I don't think what has happened to us has happened to anyone else. We were going to launch the second generation in Terra back in May, and 4 days before our launch, Terra crashed. So what happened is that we had from May collection, an unreleased collection that needed a marketplace and a new blockchain to actually be launched. be minted. So we have waited almost a year to actually being able to put it out there. So as you can imagine, there's so many things that you can say about a collection that it's been a year. You know, a year in crypto is like 7 years in the real world. So we have shown a lot of sneak peeks. We have been putting together some additional ideas, so people don't lose sort of the energy. People still maintain the hype, and it's been a fucking miracle to keep the community together and alive, because it is not only like a year waiting, which is a killer for everyone. It is because that community was actually sort of destroyed by the collapse of Terra. So it is a very, very unusual collection. People love the community. People love the collection. People already know it, and they are willing and they are looking forward to having them in their hands from once and for all. But yeah, no, people are excited. People know about it, and yeah, hopefully this wait has been worth it.
I can tell you're excited too, and I can only empathise from like my experience of trying to keep a community entity going with no revenue or budget. I've got some feelings on the difficulties you might have faced in the last 9 months. But yeah, wow. Is there anything you guys want to come in with, Edwin or Tony, at the moment?
Yeah, Pablo, I was reading about your project. You provided me some information, and I know you guys have this 10 generation project. Do you already know what the 10th generation will look like in detail, or is that some things that still need to be fleshed out there?
No, not in detail. We have a plan, but I'm personally, this is a battle all the time when I speak with marketing managers or collab managers and all that. They're telling me all the time, but you have to express your vision. What is happening on the at the end of the project? I was like, yeah, but it's not defined yet. It's not defined yet, because it would be it wouldn't be fair for the community to actually know that we have everything already decided or thought about, because making plans in this space in 6 months is just difficult. Imagine, let's say 2-3 years in advance. It's just a joke. So we have a rough theme of different genres that we want to touch in different generations, and we have a very, very incredible surprise for 10, but it's impossible to disclose us at this point. Because it's
And
a
my
little too
second question, I'm sorry, goes right along with that. And I think you've probably already answered it, because it is impossible in Web3 really to nail down time frames. But do you have a general idea? Is it like generation 10? Are we looking at possibly like 5 years from now for the 10th generation? Do you have any like guesstimate?
Yeah, I was thinking that probably 10 generations, with the complications and with the development that it takes and where we want to take them, that it includes visual content and starting to partner with creators that not only work in illustration and photography or digital artists, but more like film directors, and speak with different partnerships with my old sort of, I used to work at Channel 4, so I want to explore a partnership there. Netflix, all those content providers, I would love to bring this IP into a proper source of amazing stories by any kind, because the idea of partnership with artists, once we start having more liquidity and we grow the project, it's gonna become more and more prominent that we are collaborating with film directors and content creators.
Thanks, Pablo.
So yeah, what I just wanted to add here is that I mean, we've been working together, Pablo, for months already, right? Like, we've known each other even outside of OnePlanet or your project. We had already been working on some other stuff. But what's been interesting for me has been your ability to pivot, right? And I think in this space, there's new projects, new innovation coming in every day, and it's hard for a individual project to kind of like catch the wave, right? Like a lot of projects that migrated from Terra to Polygon. For some it has been easier to catch the wave, and for others it has been harder. But just having the ability to pivot and kind of like restart or look at trends or look at what's going on in the ecosystem and trying to play into that conversation as well with your own project and your own vision. I think that's huge. And I know that you've been trying a lot of different things, and I know we'll dive a little bit deeper into them here in this conversation, but I just wanted to give you a shout out for being able to do that and having an open mind, right? And I mean, in general, you have this idea of 10 generations, so you have this long-term vision and expectation for your community already. But right now, with each generation, you're learning what's new out there and what can you bring into like generation two, right? Like what's new, not just with the art, but also right now you have the stories and just different things that you're trying and experimenting. So just wanted to give you a shout out for that.
Oh, thank you, man. And you can't believe the amount of information that I'm holding from the public, just to be able to not committing too much on something that maybe we pivot and maybe we don't execute this idea and we execute it in a different way, and we could, because we, for example, just to give you a hint, we were planning to execute a game for the next generation, but maybe we pivot for another, with to another part that maybe it is a little bit more interesting for our for our holders, and it could be it could bring a little bit more eyeballs to the project, and maybe the game is just for Gen 5. We don't want to make promises because we want to be able to have the freedom to pivot. That's exactly it, because there's something that there's an idea that we have that we think that suddenly is gonna make the project better, that the experience is gonna be incredible for our holders. And I think at the end of the day, everything needs to make sense in the short and the medium term. We have a lot of things planned on the long term. We're gonna keep them to ourselves, just not to disappoint anyone. And we are able to execute things in the short term that people absolutely love it, and we keep bringing some more interest in the project. I think the key thing, by the way, that we haven't touched upon, and I always forget, and I'm terrible at that, is just how amazing has been the support of OnePlanet and Polygon Studios. We literally couldn't have survived at all if OnePlanet, Edwin, MATIC Man, Inch, and the team didn't, hadn't put like a little bit of cash to us. They gave us a grant because because they put us as up in the priority list to survive. They brought us to Polygon, and we can't be happier, to be honest. Thanks to that grant, we have survived, and we're gonna be able to put something that people are gonna love. I'm convinced. So we're not gonna disappoint you guys.
I think like all of the stories that I hear about, like, and obviously all of the people coming through the Launchpad right now are the projects that need to relaunch from Terra, and understandably so. And it's just inspiring to kind of like hear how you've stuck together, the support, the real community feel that's gone between you guys as projects as well, and how OnePlanet have supported that. So thank you very much for sharing that. I just quickly want to touch before we get into what you're focusing on for this sort of second drop. I really want to touch quickly on the Mad Scientist Labs, and that there's only 5 of them available at the moment on the market at OnePlanet. So there's only 5 people in that whole collection. Is it 350 items? Is that how big it is?
345, yes.
So yeah, you've only got 5 for sale, and this is obviously holding one of the MutantZ Mad Scientist Labs. That gives you like every drop that you do forever, right? Whether that's one where you get a one-off collaboration, or whether that's one of your generational drops.
This is one. Yeah, that's mainly for the generations, but we assume that the people with the mad scientist lab will have obviously mutants that will give them the right to receive the artist airdrops. So basically yeah. I think mad scientist lab was a experiment that we did on Gen 1 just to get a little bit more, just to get a little bit more hype on the project, and people absolutely loved it. At one point, it was one of the most expensive NFTs in Terra. We had a blast, and I think now it is a little bit undervalued. But once we launch Gen 2 and people start seeing the perks that collection holders, and that is holders of Gen 1 plus Gen 2 mutant, have in terms of getting more artist airdrops, getting more stuff that we do, I think that's gonna be a massive perk for them. Plus, we have a couple of surprises for mad scientist holders when we are able to develop our own interface that we're gonna start developing once we mint Gen 2.
That sounded like information you haven't released or let out before.
Say that again, Dave. Sorry.
That sounded like something you hadn't told people before.
Yeah, exactly. I'm so excited because in Web3 it's all about trying to find the right person for everything, and we found a few good people. I don't want to say so many because there are never so many, but a few great people, and some of them are working with us. But I found someone that is gonna be I'm sure a long-term partner on the development side of things, that we're gonna create a lot of cool shit, especially things that so mad scientists and mutants can experiment with. And that's something that what we love about it is that obviously everyone does things their own way, but everything we do is going to be very, very sort of story focused and digital art focused, and it's all about the having a very, very magical, making our holders to have a very magical experience, a very fun experience with us in every drop.
No, thank you very much. We have probably got just under half an hour left if we get our timings right. We don't want to keep people. It's a Sunday, but I would appreciate any retweets of the room. I'm gonna chuck the tweet up the top for a moment for anyone that would be so willing to do so, and we're gonna talk about your next drop, and then we've got some questions from you guys if you want to come up and ask some questions, or if you don't want to come up and ask questions, but you still want them asked, put them in the chat box in the bottom right hand corner, but we'll start accepting requests soonish to come up and ask MutantZ some questions. But yeah, do you want to talk to us about the drop? Do you want to tell us what's happening in 4 days' time?
Yes. After we dropped Gen 1, we went to an amazing artist called Nick from Masonry Studios in Singapore. He's absolutely incredible, and he created this sort of evolution of Gen 1. The story is very simple. There's these small characters, these flat characters that live in this 2D world, and the mad scientist is bringing them into our world through this experiment that we're going to perform on the 2nd of February, and we're going to see them not in 2D anymore. We're seeing them in their journey to become almost human-like figures, and I think the art is absolutely epic. It's absolute fire. We're gonna see so many picture profiles with the mutants that I'm so excited to think about it. Also, we are already designing and thinking different ways so you can display the mutant that you got in different screens, in your iPhone, in your laptop, in the most automated way possible. So that's something that is going to come, and we're thinking on ways that you can display your mutants in many, in many different ways and make them shine in different formats. But it's not only the great thing is that it's not only about the drop. That I will recommend people to stay tuned, because things are going to happen this experiment is dangerous and things will happen for sure. So I will recommend people to stay around to see. But the great thing is that the things that are going to happen after the drop will be, we have partnered with Mexican artist Christian Sweet, which is a absolutely wonderful skate artist, and they have created for us 4 different designs for skateboards, and we have put them, and we have basically collaborated with Gravity Boards in Los Angeles to create a collection. And I'm in front of the wall in which I'm gonna hang those 4 skateboards because they look absolutely incredible. And those skateboards, for example, will have a massive discount for holders, and for collection holders, we're gonna do is airdrop them a random sort of NFT of, one of those 4 designs. They're gonna be airdrop as NFTs, so they can trade it on OnePlanet as well, and they can collect the 4, whatever they want to do. But it's gonna be a very, very interactive sort of way to receive art from Christian Sweet. And also, the other great thing is that on the Discord we're starting to discuss who are we going to approach for next generation art, to create art for us for the next generation. And Mark, one of our whales in the in the community, he's absolutely in love with Sam Hasimi, and we already have approached him, and he's over the moon. He's going to come to talk to us. We're going to commission art from him. I'm talking with an incredible digital artist, an OG on digital fashion called Skiva. You Google him; it's absolutely incredible. SKEEVA, because he's one of the magicians of the space. In my advertising agency, I tried to work with him, and he always said no. And it was a blast when he told me that he was happy to create some NFT art for us. Cosmic Horror, another great artist that I absolutely love. We were talking to them, so there's going to be a very, very sort of incredible back and forth between artists and us, and it's going to be so meaningful for the community to see that we are actually creating something and commissioning art from people in the space, and we are going to be able to own. So as you can see, I'm so excited about what is happening on Gen 2.
And I know they might not be the designs up the top, but I've got some of Christian Sweet's art from a tweet from you guys a little while ago, MutantZ. I couldn't find one more relevant, but there is an incredible picture on the MutantZ website, which is wearethemutanz.com. There's loads of information there, and make sure you check it out, and you can see, I assume, what is going to be one of the skateboards.
Yes. I think I'm trying to find them. Let me try to put them in here. I'm trying to tweet on the comments so people can see it.
Once it's in the comments, I'll get it out the top if you can't pin it. I think we've got a question or two more about this collection. Maybe a little chatter about the mint price, and then some open questions, MutantZ.
Of course, always.
So I think the final thing is, you mentioned earlier on that there's lore and saga potentially attached to all of this. Where does that come in on this collection?
The Christian Sweet, Alistair Miller is writing the Mutant Saga, and he just launched something this week about the experiment that is going to happen. So I don't want to unveil, I don't want to sort of do like many spoilers. So I would retweet later, and I would. The episode from Mutant Saga is not episode number 20 that we just released, and is talking about the experiment. But I recommend people to go to our Discord and read about it, because things are going to get very, very messy.
Oh wow! So you're half a year into your saga, essentially. Is that been an episode a week that you've done?
Yeah, Yeah, absolutely. I will retweet it later again. There's one episode every week, and we launch it on Twitter every Sunday. And in the Discord, you can read all the episodes. It is very, very, very unusual in the NFT world because it's actually it's quite a lot of words, and that's not the usual in the NFT world. But we love we would love at the end of this year to have enough material to actually knock on some proper book publishers doors, and see if we can have our first Mutants book published at the end of the year. But that's very optimistic. We will have to wait for sure, but at least we'll have like proper content. That will be the first thing that we will do with this IP, with the MutantZ IP.
It's interesting, sort of longer form written content, and I don't know how long your stories are, but I put quite a few blogs and articles out that are between 5 and 10 minutes in reading lengths, if you believe what the websites tell you, and there's quite a demand for it, like more than you're told, which is really, really exciting about this space. And I really do like the whole science fiction fantasy kind of thing as well, so maybe I need to go check that out.
Yeah, I will send it to you later. We'd love to hear your opinion. And also, Alastair is just amazing because everything that we do, it has like a participation from the community, and he let us affect the story. He told us that who do you want to kill, who do you want to be killed, do you want romance, what do you want for the next chapter, and everyone, we have a vote every week. We actually sort of debate what we want, and it is actually fantastic to see how people really, really participate on deciding creatively about where the project is going.
I love that you've got your community coming in. So, quick fire question: take Alistair out of the equation. Who's your favorite author?
Oh my god! The thing is that my favorite author, it is Gabriel Garcia Marquez, which is not science fiction. If you haven't read 100 Years of Solitude, you're missing a treat. So that's my incredible recommendation for today. If I have to give you a sci-fi author, I think my favorite, sadly I'm not going to surprise you, it would be Philip K. Dick.
No, thank you. Thank you very
Douglas
much.
Adams, obviously. Douglas Adams forever.
I think that Isaac Asimov at the moment, right, is pertinent reading. Dark but pertinent. But I prefer the fantasy aspects of stuff. No, thank you very much for sharing that. And I'm going to throw it to Tony and Edwin very quickly, and then your questions, and then Min details. But Tony, have you got anything you want to add in? Oh, have we caught the MATIC Man tweeting?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I got rugged there for a moment. Yeah, just wanted to say, Pablo, we're just really excited at OnePlanet that you're on our launch pad and that we partner with you. A great person, great project, and we're super excited about February the 2nd.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm so excited. Let's see what happens. I mean, the market is absolutely terrible. We have some good, good energy in the Discord. We never had so many people in the Discord since the Terra demise. You never know what's going to happen, but at least there's some activity there, and we're loving it. Let's see if we can actually sort of kick start it in the right way.
Yeah, what I wanted to add was the integration of different artists that you've been putting together. For example, for your trailers, right? You had one for Gen 1, and we had Finn from the Terra community come in and create that rap song that was super dope. It was catchy, and the whole Terra community was going crazy for it. And now you had the second video for your Gen 2 collection. And I think that's something that's exciting about this space, right? Just the different media outlets that you can use to bring more attention to your project. And I think with your background, you've been able to kind of implement that experience and skills into what you're creating right now, right? But yeah, that's just something that I've been really impressed with that aspect of the video production.
Yeah, that's what I love to do. That's what I've been doing all my career. I'm delighted about, for example, when I spoke with Finn, with Matt Lee. It is the host of Terra Spaces, and he's a very, very accomplished rapper. And I asked him, could you do something for MutantZ? And he sent me this. He sent me such an incredible track that I was like, what the hell? This is very special, because in advertising world, never in a million years would have someone done something like this for free. I of course pay him at the end after the mint, because obviously this is just so good that it was impossible to let it be for free. But look at this.
Down the corridor, I'm ignoring the warning, storing importance. The chord looks source from ancient coordinates. Smells like musty, mutants, trust me.
This is so good. And we made a video with this, with all the mutants headbanging like crazy. People went so mad, and I think that's what we're doing right now. We put a little bit of money into this VFX studio in Barcelona that is working with Netflix and Disney Plus, and they created a very, very cool video. We want to put cool shit in the world and make the people excited and make them live a good experience with us, and hope we can take that to the mint.
That's awesome. Thank you very much. And I think the room enjoyed the music. Maybe we end on that if Edwin's willing to let that happen. Before we hit some mint details, let's take the question from NZ Web3.
G'day, MATIC Man, Dave, MutantZ. How are you guys? I hope the day is going well. Great conversation. I just joined 10 minutes ago, and I was wanting to ask a couple of questions to MutantZ if I missed. Have you announced the mint price yet? And also, what made you to choose Polygon to launch your project on it? Because I've seen Polygon is growing rapidly these days, and there's a lot more projects coming in. And I see the potential future for Polygon. I just wanted to throw the question out there. Thank you.
Hey, Nsui, thank you very much. This is a very, very good question. We have gonna give you right now details on the mint. I can tell you that for holders phase, which is for MutantZ holders, is gonna be 35 MATIC, and for whitelist phase, it's gonna be 39 MATIC, and for public it's going to be 45. If MATIC keeps pumping, we're thinking that we're going to lower it down, so Berserker doesn't get angry with us, because he's listening, and he told us that we have to be careful. If he keeps pumping, he's not going to mint, so we're going to make sure that it has the right price. But we wanted to keep it affordable. We know how tight people are right now, and we just want to have enough treasury to kickstart the project again and start putting cool shit into the world. And in terms of why we chose Polygon, it was a struggle, and Edwin can can tell you that we didn't make the decision until last second. There was. I spoke with people at Flow. I love Flow. I think they are absolutely great. I spoke with people at Stargaze, which has so much energy. We even thought going to Ethereum. But the truth is that we were working with OnePlanet, and we were really comfortable. We really liked the team, and they told us that they put us on a list of one of their preferred projects to migrate with them, and they give us support that has brought us here after a year. And for us, that was the best part of the deal, not only keeping the team, but actually sort of having the actual sort of proof that they wanted to support us by giving us a grant that could make us survive. So that was the main reason. The great thing is that suddenly with the Youth's announcement, with the Youth's announcement, the hype that this blockchain is having, and the culture that is being created here, that is still in its infancy, to be honest, but I think it's getting in the right direction. And when Youth's landed, it's going to be the perfect storm of lots of projects coming from Terra, a couple of interesting OG projects here, and Youth's coming. it's gonna be a blast. I think it's gonna be good. Content creators have started to move here. There are good signs. There are good signs.
I'm just going to come in before we go back and, be that smug person that says, like, I was here, like, when the first Polygon NFTs were going on OpenSea. Just saying. I'm really excited to see more and more people like come to Polygon. I'm excited to see the general buzz for it, and I really hope that we can keep the kind of the community feel going as this builds and pumps and like from the creator perspective, and yeah, thank you for those questions. I'm going to go to CoinStoic before we come back to you, NZ Web3, but we will get your question in. If there's any others, hit them in the chat. If you can't come up and speak, we've got about 10 minutes left. But CoinStoic, how's it going?
What's up, guys? What's up? I'm a Scientist Lab holder, minted on Luna with mutants. Looking forward to to this next mint. Pablo, just want to ask, what's your kind of roadmap for the next generation? So we're coming up on generation 2. Like, what's the timeline or kind of your runway for generations 3, 4, 5? Kind of how far do you see the future, at least as you have it planned so far? Thank you.
Yes, we have approached these projects in a different way than the 10,000 sort of PFP projects that are launched in different platforms. What we wanted to do is, because this is like technically an evolution, a collection, we don't want to dilute it too much. So the first generation has it had on Terra 1,000 mutants. This generation has 2,000 mutants. After the migration, by the way, the first generation now has 850, because there's 150 that stayed in Terra, and people who decided to leave crypto forever. I can't blame them. But the key thing here is that we can allow ourselves to be a little bit quicker and to bring in sort of more collections to the space, because we don't have a lot of NFTs and we can keep growing that way. So the third generation is already in the cards. We're already sort of trying to recruit a new artist. We almost have someone recruited that I have to put in front of the creative hub. So CoinStoic, if you have verified your assets, you're gonna see in Creative Hub channel for the holders the different options that we're gonna brief for the artists, so we can talk about them. And the idea is to start like getting it together and start working with them as soon as possible. Start building it with the community and start defining what is the theme of generation 3. At the moment, there's a couple of ideas on the table, but I would love to put them in front of the holders to see what they think. If you want me to drop a little bit of alpha, I've been talking with some game creators, and we have put together. I already received 3 proposals of rules for a potential card game for mutants, so we can actually create a collection based on that game, or that game on the collection, and having the different characters and being able to sort of to play with your own NFT. There's something that we can start talking in the collection, but there's also an idea related to memes that I would like to bring to the Creative Hub, because I think there is something that we need at Mutants, and is to bring content creators to our collection. We need to empower people in this project to create some amazing content, and I would love Mutants or the collection to be a way to share content in the funniest way possible, in the most shareable way possible, in the most viral way that we can. So I think those are the 2 ideas that are on the table. That's what Edwin was talking about, pivoting. I think we need to talk about what is best for the next one. And I would love to take it to the community and talk to you, CoinStoic, and with all the holders to see what we can do for the next one. But yeah, those are sort of some of the plans that we have put together.
I'm just going to say, at no point did anyone ask you to drop information. Like, you have chosen to do that on several occasions tonight. But it's been fantastic to hear some of the plans. And anyone that's sitting in the room, you're probably a content creator in one form or another, and you might not even realize it. So start thinking about how you can get your information out. You're one of a few people in an industry that moves incredibly quickly, and you've got the knowledge. NZ Web3, hit us up with what's probably going to be our last question of the night.
Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity, bro. I totally respect the time you guys are about to finish. So I'll just give a big shout out to MutantZ, and I wish you best of luck. I hope everything goes well. And I wanted to come back to what Dave said earlier, that he said, I hope the momentum keeps going and Polygon gets the recognition what it deserves. I think the best way we can do is Twitter Spaces. Start collaborating with people who are hosting Twitter Spaces and spread the word about Polygon, because we've seen great projects on the way. And Polygon is going to have a blast. I'm going to send you guys a DM. I'm MATIC Man and Dave. We host Twitter Spaces, and let's chat and let's collaborate. Let's bring Polygon where it should be. Much appreciate the opportunity.
Definitely. And I think, like, for Polygon's sake, if you're thinking about the technological aspects of it, and you're interested in the future that way, have a look at ZK EVM and the roll-ups in technology. Have a look at PolyAvail, and how they're looking to take functionality slightly off-chain to make cross-chain things work a lot better, and have a look at how they're trying to get 1 billion people onboarded into crypto in one way or another. That's why so many of us are on Polygon. MutantZ, just want to confirm your mint price is looking maybe $40 to $50, dependent on the cost of MATIC and what time you get in, that sort of price range. Is that right?
Yes. I think it was originally $35 for the holders. We have to, and for the holders and for whitelist, I have to have like a proper look to the prices to really understand what is the real cost in USDC. But yeah, that's approximately the price. Yes, and there's going to be 4 phases. One from Mad Scientist phase. So Mad Scientist Lab holders can mint. There's one for holders. There's one for whitelist, and there's one for public.
And that's all happening in 4 days' time on the 2nd of February, right?
In 4 days' time, exactly.
We've lost Tony. Let's see if we can get him back up to see if there's any closing words, or he might have somewhere else to be. Edwin, have we lost him for the end of this?
This space can't finish without someone screaming, the purple wave is coming. So someone has to do it.
That may be you, Pablo.
Oh my goodness.
My
PFP is quite. Shall I close it down with a purple wave?
Let's do it. Yeah, I'll just say some last words here, and then you can close it down. But yeah, no, it's been a great hour here to learn more about you, Pablo. I think I learned just more about you and the root of where you started with crypto and with NFTs and with Mutant. So thanks for sharing all that. Thanks for opening up, and letting us know more about that. But yeah, if anybody has any more questions, of course, join their Discord, and you can DM us at OnePlanet. We'll help you out as well. That way you're ready to mint on February 2nd. But yeah, thanks everybody for spending this hour with us. I'll leave it to Dave or Pablo here if you want to finish it with the purple wave.
Oh my goodness! Thanks,
Paolo promised music. Paolo promised music to play us out. And look, at the moment, I'm not going to let us go without a cheeky self-pitch for Polygon Alliance, a creator community hub on Polygon. Guys, check it out. But the Mutants, hit us up with some music and some purple. I mean, you've got the purple PFP. It's got to be you.
It's got to be me. What I'm going to do is the purple wave is coming, and then letting you go with the wonderful "We Are the Mutants" soundtrack from Matley. So thanks everyone for this hour. Any any message that you have, please DM me, and we're gonna be absolutely delightful to come back to all of you. Thanks very much, and see you on February the 2nd.
I'm ignoring the warning, storing importance. The cordless source from ancient coordinates smells like musty mutants. Trust me, I've been hunting bugs since the leaves started rustling. I must be getting close, yo. The scene is disgusting. Parasitic mutant infection out the country. Grab a couple samples and defy their custody. Feeding gamma rays to the beast of velocity. Mutating awesomely. Pre-say don't wanna me. Taking all the scraps and beat them with the lottery. Always evolving to defy the possibly. These are the things that will stream you responsibly. Feeling uneasy, these genes get them off of me. I don't mean to trip it, am I mutating properly? We are the mutants. We are the mutants. We are the mutants. We are the mutants. Unlock the backside.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Paulo. Thanks, everyone. Take care. Have a good day.
Sign from above, it says don't panic. That you're not alone, you're on one planet.